work out. Let's see if everything's going to be working properly on it. Let me go to my YouTube's channel if I can find where that is. So I think I've got the chat up there too. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, I don't think. This. I don't know if using Streamlabs is going to work as well as just using regular old YouTube for these streams. Hey, Wolverine, and Jill, and Connor, and Ren Chrome, and Alpha, and Solitude Sanity. This isn't going to be a real long stream. I've been working on some stand-up material, and I've been telling the gang that... What the hell? I've been telling the gang that it would be fun to hang out and let you guys... Help me, please make this funny. New phone, who dis? Wolverine says. Excuse me, but I already don't like the fact that we get the standard thumbnail on when I use Streamlabs. I'll have to find a way around that. And I'm getting some weird shit up on my screen here as well. Might just stick to the regular. It is actually it is almost past my bedtime, Goodman. It actually is. Yeah, I've been planning on. I've been putting together material for some time. As soon as I can work it into my schedule, I'm going to hit some open mics with it and hopefully move along with it. I don't know how you can write while talking with people. For me, that'd be too distracting. Well, it's a different type of writing, Philip. If I was writing a script for something, then yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that. When you're writing comedy bits, it's stop and go the whole time anyway. Well, I'm glad, Connor. I enjoy them too. That's why I want to try and do more and more of these. I just really like doing this. Do you guys do you guys like this? For those who were with me in last night's stream, do you guys like this setup? We have all the little Streamlabs doodads here. What do we got? We got Super Chat, a notification bar, and the chat on the screen. Or do you prefer the more plain, just go with the live stream and don't dial it up look of these? What do you guys think works better? Excuse me. No, I typically hit bedtime in about half an hour, just because I get up so early. I'm up 5:30 every day, 7 days a week. You like this setup, Mr. Shank? You like having the chat on screen? Okay. Well, I'm sure I can work with this more. This is new to me, using Streamlabs here on the mobile. The only thing I don't understand is, now looking at my phone, the lighting and everything is perfect. But when I look at what you guys are seeing, because I've got it up on my screen too, it's very washed out, way overlit. So I don't know how to go about correcting that. Let's see, is that... Nope. That doesn't do it. Blue lights. Yeah, now see on my screen here. Now maybe that's just my display. Does the video, and again, this is just stuff I'm trying to figure out for using Streamlabs. Does the video look really washed out to you? Too white? Oh, Guts is here. Tingyon's here. I didn't even see him go by, Chrome. No, okay, so maybe you guys are maybe it's just my display here on the computer, because it looks like crap for me. It was washed out. See, mine's... Now, this is because I have the actual stream as it shows, and mine's not cutting out. It's just washed out. Oh, it does look okay. Okay, cool. And I'll be able to tell, too, when YouTube turns this into a video. Once they get done rendering it, I'll be able to see what it really looked like. The stream won't be running a real long time tonight, Joe. these evening streams will be running longer, but tonight I got a late start. We just had my grandson's birthday party. So after we got done, I just popped up here. So, and I just thought I can keep checking. This will work out well too, though. Or I think it will. Let me see. What if I'm just looking for a way I can keep the chat up here. There's the chat, okay. And so if why is it doing that? Do I have to go from this side? No. That's really weird. This browser window doesn't want to cooperate. I don't want the video to keep up. I just want the chat to stay up. That's weird. Oh, is that... I had live chat on there once. It didn't stay though. Yeah, this browser's screwing with me too. It doesn't want to take the video down. It gets rid of the chat. And I want it to do just the opposite. I never had a problem with that before. So let's see. Nope. That ain't gonna do it. That's weird. I'm not gonna fiddle with that. I can... Comedy porn, my favorite, Tingian says. Oh, it just welcomed me to live chat. Well, thanks. Since I've been hosting the stream, I've been here for most of it then. Hey, maybe I can do it this way, though. What if I minimize this? And that, yeah, there we go. There we go. Now I can see you guys' chat. I wonder if I'm doing this wrong. Maybe I should... Hold on a second, guys. Let me move my water jug. Which is a better perspective? Where I had the camera or here? Which is better for you guys? It doesn't sit quite even, does it? Which one looks better? Yeah, lots of local championships, Hawkmast. I don't remember them all. Wrestling's not about the titles you win. It's about the stories you tell. Here? You like here better? Yeah, I can just leave. Yeah, now I can see everything really well. Let's see, about the same. Garmin says this one Chrome. Okay, we'll stay with this one. Next time I set it up, I might move it a hair to this side. Physically move it, and then I can push it up a little bit. There we go. All right, here's some of the material. Now, a lot of material... for those of you who don't know, and most of you don't, just some of the gang that hangs out with me in one of the rooms at the Discord know. Back, was it last month? Last month. I actually auditioned online for America's Got Talent. Now, the audition went really, really well. But that doesn't mean anything. I hadn't even told much of anybody about it, only because the odds of getting on the show are astronomically long. But best case scenario happened and the audition went really well. The producer that was in our room that was conducting the auditions, I really connected with him. He was fun, good kid. So, and that's what I was doing was stand-up. And that's because I already had some stuff written. But that stuff... I had written, I performed on stage before. I know it's solid material. I know it's always gotten a good response. But I've been trying to put together a lot more stuff that I haven't tried out yet. I got a whole bit talking about now. 90% of my comedy that I do now is a lot of it's storytelling, but 90% of it is based on real life stuff. Every once in a while, something wild will hit my imagination and I'll make up a story. But 90% of it is at least based in facts. As a comedian, you might embellish things a little bit, but it's based in fact. And this is one of them. And it's the story about growing up in the sticks as I did. And And I wanted to see what do you guys think of these? I know it's very difficult to do when you're not performing stand up, when you're actually just talking to a camera here with no live audience reaction. But this is some of the material I wrote. So the bit opens with, I went to school in a very rural place. And by rural, I mean, if you said the word library instead of library, you was an uppity hippity. Uppity hippity. Uppity hippie. And then the next joke is, if you tell Siri to take you to the address where I grew up, she just plays the theme song from Deliverance, which is bada bing, 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 bing. And then she will tell you, in 42 minutes, you will reach your destination. In 44 minutes will be your disappearance. And I'm just deciding if I like those jokes or not. I think I do. And again, that'll be when they're performed. Right now, I'm just kind of reading them to you guys. Uppity hippity. I know, Loot. I don't know what the fuck that was. You can tell that it's stuff I don't have memorized yet because I say things like uppity hippity. And then there's the story of we had this power pole at the edge of our property that was leaking radiation like water through a soup strainer. If you stood near the power lines, you could actually hear them going zzz, 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 raining down little cancerous fairy dust. Squeal like a pig. That's right, friend. Those sexually satisfying groans. You think the references are too specific? Like what references, Pax? I think everybody has rural areas, don't they? I liked uppity hippity. Now I'm going to say it every time. This bit's out because I'm going to say uppity hippity on stage now. I know that's stuck. That just stuck right in. Yes, I like uppity hippie. I did actually like that line until I just destroyed it for myself and embedded something else in my brain. But I without performing it, I'm just going to give you guys the rough version that I've started writing of this. So again, it would be a have to use your imagination thing for how it'd be performed. But this is what I had written. We had this power pole at the edge of our property that was leaking radiation like water through a soup strainer. If you stood near the power lines, you could actually hear them going zzz, 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 raining down little cancerous fairy dust. Standing under those power lines was like having your own personal x-ray machine. I fell one time and thought I broke my leg. Mom said, stand here under the power line. The thing went zzz, and Mom goes, nope, looks fine. I don't think I like that one, though. I don't think I like the x-ray machine. What do you guys think? I don't... I do like this line, though. My friend David, who was always playing under that pole, hit puberty at age 7. By age 10, he was a superhero. The rest of us were discovering BB guns and shooting bugs with them, and he was picking off spiders from 30 feet with laser beams from his eyes. Yeah, I don't like that one. I think I'm going to get rid of that one. Oh, I'm not worried about that, Pax. If somebody didn't see Deliverance, then they just won't get the joke. But Deliverance transcends time. You don't have to have seen the movie to know of that scene. Mistaking bugs for fireflies from the radiation? Reference Homer Simpson. That'd be a stretch, referencing Homer Simpson in. Yeah. We're not going with delivery right now, Garmin. Again, none of this is being performed. It's just being read. That's what makes writing sessions tough, because you're not performing them. You're just writing them, and then I'll have them down how I want to perform them when we go on stage. Yeah, I think so. Well, see, I think that we can. Philip, I think we can improve the setup because I agree, but when I know what's staying, what's going. I just don't like the personal x-ray machine one. So if I take that one out, I have to set up the raining down little cancerous fairy dust. And then on stage, now as you're performing it, of course, there would be a pause. I'm not going to just go right into it. And then I would say, my friend David was always playing around under that pole. He ended up hitting puberty at age 7. By age 10, he was a freaking superhero. The rest of us were discovering BB guns and shooting bugs with them, and he was picking off spiders from 30 feet with laser beams from his eyes. So that would be closer to how I would actually perform it. Let's see. Oh, let me go over here for the chat. Pax, yeah, I have plenty of places I can go for. Believe it or not, no. Let's say Pax. I know how the comedy business works. I've been in it since 1984. But the problem with, like, we have a local comedy club here that has an open mic night. Open mic nights really don't do you much good at a comedy club because nobody comes to the open mic nights but other comedians. The other comedians are generally not even that interested in what anybody else is doing. They just want to go up there and work out their stuff. Open mic nights are dreadful for figuring out what material works. Now, I do have another one that I will probably use. That is it's mostly music. It's been around since the 50s. And it's a little coffee house where Bob Dylan used to play. Arlo Guthrie used to play there. And the good thing about it is those people there, at least in my experience, is they're willing to laugh if the jokes are funny. But they're not just other comedians who are not interested in comedy, just interested in putting up their own stuff. That's where I'll go to work stuff out once I get it written how I want. Let me go over here. Oh, Chrome. The open mic nights, not always, but I would say at least 80% of the time, open mic nights at a comedy club are just, there's no use in them. They just really don't do anything for you. Yes, I'm on TikTok. I haven't posted a TikTok in a while. I will be posting more, though. Let's see. Oh, it's Slap on Titan videos? Yeah. Yeah, it was a good series. Why am I not getting the same? Hold on a second, guys. Did that switch again? God damn, it went back to top chat on me again. What the hell is going on there? So I wasn't seeing everything. The radiation was like the setup to a damn Godzilla movie, Fat Ugly Lizard fucks included. That one, I've got to remember what else I wrote on this one. Oh, and then it goes into the story I told you guys on camera before about Robert. And leading into that, I say, needless to say, my school wasn't exactly a melting pot of racial diversity. If we had a melting pot, it would have been comprised solely of vanilla pudding, mayonnaise, and whipped cream. You can tie the superpower joke back into the X-ray joke by making that his power. The X-ray joke. Yeah, because I have to work on that, Goodman. Yeah, I could tell the joke about David gaining the superpowers, and then have him be like having your own personal X-ray machine. That might work. Because if that doesn't work, I'm shit canning the X-ray joke. I don't like it. Jill says my cousin used to be an open mic night every weekend because he always clips, but now he works for kids' birthday parties as a clown. Had nothing wrong with that. That's anything in entertainment. I say go for it if you like it. Nothing wrong with being a clown. Where I am, Persona, it's 8:16 p.m. Yeah, I think I like the bit overall. But again, I don't like the X-ray joke as is, unless I could tie it back into David. Poor David's going to get tied into him. What else have I been working on? I've told you guys the Robert story before. I did the state inspector story for my audition with America's Got Talent. I had that. I'm not gonna perform this. I'm gonna read this one off to you guys and tell me what you think of this. This is something I'm kicking around. I'm so old that when I was little and would say a naughty word, I'd get a bar of soap put in my mouth. I really liked saying bad words, so I became quite the soap connoisseur. I would carry my own bar around with me, and when my sister would annoy me or something, I'd say, "Shut up, poop head," then just pop the bar soap into my own mouth. That way I got to choose the flavor. Then, when I was around 10, they came out with Irish Spring soap. Let me tell you something. Irish Spring tastes like a mixture of leprechaun farts and death. As soon as my mom realized this, she only bought Irish Spring, and I quit swearing. Again, like I say, once you have it memorized, then you can actually deliver it. But that's the read of it. Let's see. I know I gotta wait. That's another thing too. I don't know how long the delay is when we're using the Streamlabs app here. You like that one, Mr. Shank? I kind of like that one. It needs work, but I kind of like that one. You like that, Philip? There's nothing wrong with the taste of Irish Spring, Willie says. I take it, Willie, you got some of the same discipline I did. Good. I'm glad you like that one. I'll tell you the rest of it. Oh, Andrew says, "Hope you're good, Baldy." I am. I'm having writer's block at the moment. Oh, that's the worst. I've been there in writing this stuff, writing scripts. Okay, well, let me pick up the rest of that then. You guys seem to... As soon as my mom realized this, she only bought Irish Spring, and I quit swearing. Then it goes on. Prior to that, though, my mom used to try everything to get me to stop saying bad words. One time she said to me, "Do you know that every time you say a bad word, it makes an angel cry?" Well, I'm almost a little embarrassed at how delighted that made me. I mean, who would have thought a dopey kid like me could have that kind of power and control over the emotional stability of heavenly beings? Now that I knew I had it, I was most certainly going to abuse it. I remember thinking, if I say enough bad words, I can take down God himself. At 7 years old, I was already willing to step on anyone to become omnipotent. So now, do you guys like the rest of that? Oh, yeah, I had to be disciplined, Willie. My parents weren't willing to discipline me. It would have been really, really bad. It was a solution being care about things. You like that one, Garmin? You like that one, Philip? Okay. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, I appreciate that, guys. Because I say I know it's very difficult for you guys to try and help me with this when it's not being performed, when it's being read. So it's all stuff I've got to... You've already convinced me of one thing. Actually, I want to go down and I want to put that... I want to put that X-ray joke in red. Because right as it is, I don't want it. But I might mess around with it some. Okay, let me change that to red. Okay. I think it needs more tits, Lick says. Okay, oh, and here's how that bit would end. Now I'll lead in where I left off. At 7 years old, I was already willing to step on anyone to become omnipotent. I would use my powers over the angels as if I were blackmailing a genie to get wishes. I'd be in my room, I'd look up at the sky and go, "Hey, angels, if you don't want to be wrecked and crying tonight, you better make my mom give us hot fudge sundaes for dinner." Then I'd run into the kitchen. "Hey, Mom, what's for dinner?" "What do you mean, goulash?" I'd stomp back into my room, look right up at the ceiling, go, "Poop, titties, fart, butthole." "That's right, angels, now you're crying." I would aim at them like I was actually shooting them. Be like, "Hell, damn, penis." I think it's fair to say that I'm the only kid who ever did skeet shooting at angels. And that's the end of what I had written for that bit. And again, I gotta wait, guys, for the old delay to catch up. Never had goulash? You're not missing anything, Chrome. I hate goulash. Well, of course, I don't like anything, though. You guys know my taste. You like it, Rigid Rat? I like that one. Again, like all of this, it's new and it needs work. Wrecked Angels 101, pretty much alpha. All right, so shooting skeeted angels. You like that, Joe? Okay, so I appreciate that, guys. So pretty much we like the saying bad words. Thank you, Philip. I appreciate it. Okay. No, that helps me. Actually, I'm going to have to start color coding because, I'll forget. I'm going to go with green When I've run them by you guys and you like them, I'll go with red, stuff I want to get rid of, and blue, stuff that we're still on the fence about. So I'm going to put this in green, because like I say, I'll forget sure as hell if I don't do color code them somehow. It's funny because swear words Lick says. Now you guys, I know some of you, any of you guys remember the story of Robert I told in a video? And I'm thinking very seriously of including that. I've got it all written out here in the act. Well, actually, Willie, though, mine's officially diagnosed. My post-concussion. The story of Robert was he was the young man, or the kid I went to school with in 4th grade, and he was the only black kid that ever came to our school at that time, and him and I became friends, mainly because we both got bullied, me for being fat ginger and him for being black. Yeah, I think actually a lot of it needs tweaking, Rigid Rat. I just appreciate you guys letting me know if you think the concepts are good and the jokes are okay. Yeah, it definitely needs tweaking. But that I only get through repetition. What I'll do is I'll take a bit, I'll write it down, I'll have it with me, and it gets mundane, but that's how the bit gets better. You just say it over and over and over, and each time you do it, you'll find different inflections that work and different expressions that work. So you just sit there and look in your mirror and talk like a mental patient. Yes, Robert, the black friend. Yes. Might be able to. Berries, that's a good idea. And that's an entirely true story. It says maybe you could make a joke out of the story you told about your friend with a dog with a ghost in her house. Yeah. I have to work on it for punchlines. But yeah, you're right. Because that was, again, the story I told you guys was 100% factual. Everything down the line. There was no embellishment or anything like you might do with a comedic story. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, like I said, I used to get bullied, and for me, it wasn't a big epiphany. I just decided one day that I'd rather fight than get bullied, and I started fighting back. And then I found out that I really liked fighting, and then it became easy. It's a good thing you found a cure for your gingerism. Gray suits you, Lick says. I tell you though, Lick, it's still mostly red on top. The couple times my hair still comes in thick as fuck. The couple times I've let my head go like 4 days without shaving, you can actually see it starting to come in, and you can see tints of gray, but it's mostly dark red. Oh yeah, the delivery's everything, Rigid. Yeah, 100%. I mean, well, I shouldn't say it's everything. You still gotta have material that's at least interesting and fun to the audience, especially if you're doing like this type of storytelling material. But yes, the delivery is all of it. Joke, my relationship track record, Brian. Well, here, let me if you guys don't mind, this will be the last thing because I don't have a lot of time tonight. Let me run this by you for any of you who are interested. I'm going to read you guys the story of Robert. Now, this again, because I haven't worked on the performance at all, but I'll read you the story, and I'll read it as embellished as I can. But let me know what you guys think. And the story is somewhere on YouTube. I told the story of him. Now, I've dialed it up some here because I'm doing it for a comedy bit now rather than just relating an actual story. But here, let me read this to you guys. If you got time to hang with me, it's not that long, a few minutes long. And I'll read it off how I have it now. Let me know what you think of the story. And that's how it started with the line I gave you earlier. Needless to say, my school wasn't exactly a melting pot of racial diversity. If we had been a melting pot, it would have been comprised solely of vanilla pudding, mayonnaise, and whipped cream. It was only white kids until I was in the 4th grade when a black family moved into the area. Their son, a kid named Robert, was in my class, and we became friends because we both liked baseball. You see, somehow I hadn't gotten the white person memo that we weren't supposed to like people whose skin tone was darker than our oak desks. Unfortunately for Robert, we had a bunch of kids in our class whose parents drove pickup trucks with exhaust leaks. They had all gotten the memo. Hell, if it weren't for the fact that I'm pretty sure they were all illiterate, I would have said they wrote the memo. Anyway, one day Robert and I were eating lunch, and I asked him, as innocently as a fourth grader could, "How come your skin is so dark?" Without missing a beat, Robert turned to me and he says, "Because God screwed up when he was making you. He took you out of the oven way too soon." This freaked me out. I was like, holy crap, I'm raw. Robert saw I was scared, so he said, "That's why when the sun comes out, you turn red because God is trying to finish cooking you." After that, Robert and I couldn't be friends anymore because I was convinced on a hot summer day he was going to eat me. Actually, though, Robert and I did stay friends. We had a strong common bond beyond a love of baseball. We both got bullied a lot. Him because of the color of his skin, and me because I was a fat ginger kid. When we would talk about our oppression, Robert observed to me, "Well, at least someday you might grow up and not be fat anymore." That was the real first punch you in the stomach thing I remember anyone ever saying to me. However, this camaraderie led to one of the most awesome real-life, snatched right from a movie scene moments ever. Now, you have to remember, I grew up in an era where being bullied was just a rite of passage. If there was anything different about you, the school would actually assign bullies to you. They handed out your locker room and the name of the kid who would be pulling up your underwear over your head on the same day. Unfortunately for Robert and me, the entire class that was 1 year older than us were handed us as an assignment. One day, though, everything cosmically fell into place. Robert and I headed out to recess. It was spring, so we were finally going to be able to play baseball. Before him and I could even hook up, out came several of our school-sponsored terrorists. Somewhere, somehow, a little bit of agility actually entered my chubby little body. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I left some out there. I apologize. Our school-sponsored terrorists. So as I was walking across the fields to go meet up with Robert, who was already over at the baseball field, the assault crew made their way towards us. Two of them started coming straight for me. One was substantially ahead of the other. As he closed in on me, somewhere, somehow, a little bit of agility actually entered my chubby little body. As the kid came in, arm up, I sidestepped, grabbed him, and using all my girth, which there was plenty of, threw him to the ground. When he went to the ground, he didn't just land, he went like a lawn dart and spiked his head into the sod, and then his body came over his head. I thought he might have broke his neck. I didn't care, but I thought he might have. And then actually, guys, I gotta work some more on that. No, I gotta work some more on that. I left some stuff out of the writing. It's not gonna work like this. Basically, the story is, and this is actually what happened. I threw that kid, I spiked him, and the things that entered the story was the kid with him. All he kept saying is, "What did you do?" He was like, he wouldn't come over. He wasn't willing to bully me, fight me, whatever, without his buddy. And so he's just there, standing there screaming, "What would you do? What did you do?" And when the teacher came out, now I just spiked this kid, and then I body splashed him. That's part of the story. I body splashed him because it dawned on me, hey, I'm a fat kid. I've got another weapon here. So while he was down, I came up and I gave him the old Haystacks Calhoun, and I jumped up in the air and landed on him. The teacher came out to see what was going on, and instead of checking to see if his neck was broken or anything, just yanked him up onto his feet and brushed him off and said, you got to scrape, put some Bactine on it, which when I realized for the first time in my life that Bactine cured broken necks. And then the story talks about how Robert was over on the other fields. His parents had just bought him a brand new pair of plastic baseball cleats. Up until then, plastic ones didn't exist. It was all metal. So he was allowed to wear them in school, play at recess because they were plastic. And Robert started channeling his inner Bruce Lee. He was going after the bullies. I swear he was hanging in the air going, kicking everybody with those cleats. There were plastic scratches on skin everywhere. And basically the long and short of the story is that day we won. Did it stop the bullies from bullying us? No, they went back to bullying us again. Although they did it with a significant amount more trepidation than they ever had in the past. And the finale to the story is the truth. Unfortunately, one day I came to school and Robert wasn't in that day or any of the days that followed. His family had just up and moved. And in hindsight, it's not hard to figure out why. And that's basically the story of Robert. Oh, I think actually, Philip, I think I don't. It's probably too long for AGT, but I think that's actually the exact type of thing they like. I think they would enjoy that type of thing, because it talks about the racism of the day in a very comedic, innocent as children in that era type of way. I think, it's not like we're talking about the N-word being thrown around and everything. I think it would be perfect for them, but it's too long. Hey, Zerzol. Hey, good to see you again. Yeah, I'm glad you're in. Christian says if you go on AGT, you have to throw used condoms at Howie the germaphobe. You like it, Chrome? You think so? It's like I say, it needs a ton of work. I forgot I hadn't even written it all out, or I wouldn't have started reading it for you guys. But I like it because it's a true story. And it was a real defining moment for me. That thing, I remember that like we're in the cafeteria. I remember like it was yesterday when he said that to me, because Robert really said, well, at least maybe when you grow up, you won't be fat anymore. And that thought had never occurred to me. It's just right. That's what I mean. It's as sanitized a story of bullying as you could get. And the thing is, it's told from the perspective of, why the bullying is bad and how it affected people. You had this poor kid sitting there depressed about where his life was going to go because people are picking on him over something over which he has no control. Yeah, it's way too long for AGT. I got plenty of other material I would use there, but it's way too long for AGT. And at the end of that, I had just added this. At the end of that story, when I do it, I am going to say that I like to think that in the back of my mind, the reason I remained a fat guy all those years is so Robert wouldn't be alone. Yeah, I know what you mean, Chrome. Hi, Spaz Oh, glad you came back. Wanking would have, well, Ava Michelle, a wanking session sounds like more fun, but you have to remember who's on camera here. It would just be sad and disappointing. AGT contestant Slick says will be like, I want to dedicate the song to my black trans disabled 7-year-old daughter who has asshole cancer before singing the worst fucking song ever. Lex, I love your cynicism, Lex. I mean that genuinely. I'm not being sarcastic. Well, thanks, Bebop. But yeah, I think the Robert story that's a story for the polished, finished act because it goes on so long. But I think it has a lot of potential. I like that. And now the stuff I would be using on AGT, I can even tell you what a lot of it is. I don't tell that story again, the state inspector coming to my house on YouTube, just because they ask you not to do the same material I would be doing there, or did for the audition. But I had it written down. Hold on, let me find it here. I will, if I go on there, I think I can do my sex is a game material. It sounds racy, but it's really not that racy. I'd have to run it by producers first, but I think that'll go, and I really like that one. Low testosterone on the beach. That one's well within it. And oh shoot, I got the rest of my phone. I was gonna say I had the whole thing written down, but that's in my phone, and I'm using my phone to do the stream, so that ain't gonna work. Let's see, what else did I do? Yeah, I think so too, Willie. That's why I like doing stories like that, because again, it is just, I think it's more relatable because it is all based in fact. I do have some stuff I want to work out more about when I was a kid and how you only got 3 channels on the TV. And one of the channels, and this is true too, one of the channels where I lived, you could only get if somebody was willing to hold the rabbit ears antennas on top of the TV to help with the reception. And that was my sister's job because she was stupid enough to be born last. And then when we got an antenna for the roof, it got really hairy for her. And the whole story devolves into a whole thing about, well, I would have thought that getting struck by lightning would have made you hold on to the antenna tighter, not let go of it and fall to the ground. Let's see. Here's another joke I'm considering. I turned 60 years old recently. Numbers don't really mean a lot to me except for the number 65. That's the total grams of fat in a large Arby's half-pound roast beef meal, and it's how I'm going to die. And then it goes into a story that is, but see, here's the thing. If each of us is the quarterback of our own lives and death is the opposing defense, once you hit 60, you realize your offensive line has been decimated. And the story goes on talking about how now I am entering the generation that is next to die. The generation above me has all been moving on. That one I have a lot of hopes for. I like that, but that's just in the very, very early stages. Real early stages. Good old sex shows, yes. Hey, Cheyenne, good to see you again, Shy. Sports do the thing with the ball. Oh, sure. Osvaldo, yes. Growing up, we had one of the TVs with a dial for the channels and a rectangle power button and a dial for the volume. Yes, sir. I remember it all very well. Listen, and I'm somebody who always liked technology, and there was none when I was a kid. I mean, I remember I thought that toaster was high tech. You'd be buttering it up, going, God damn! 2 minutes ago, this was bread. I mean, that was technology. Frigid Rat says my sex life is like Antarctica, cold, dry, and non-existent. Been very nice out lately. We had a couple of nice days here, and now we're getting a snowstorm because fuck upstate New York. That's why. Oh, Solaris, I wouldn't be too pleased if Papa Curtis passed either, but I think I got a ways to go with you guys yet. By all the analog tech here, Cheyenne. Which one, Philip? I'm sorry, I'm going through stuff too fast. That's not a good way to do a writing session when I'm going too fast. And what I can do too, though, yeah, if I go back to this camera for the writing sessions, my main one, I got thinking I can put it on that ultra low latency, and we'll only have about a 3-second delay. Might have to do that. I'm just trying to think of the toaster. You like that one, Phil? I kind of like that one. That was one I wrote in the last day or two. I just put it in my phone. Yeah, I do. I like the toaster one. Oh, you're in Buffalo, Willie? Yeah, I'm due east on the thruway from you. Get on the thruway and drive for about 3.5 hours, and and you'll hit me. No. Rick says my sex life is like Syria, never ending and painful. No. Oh, Mitch Hedberg is one of my all-time favorites for Bugden and Tone. So sad that he went so young. Oh, I love Mitch Hedberg. What a funny bastard he was. Michael says, I was always tinkering. I remember touching the little nipples on the back of an old monochrome TV and learned I could make the signal better, but not while seeing the picture. Oh, Michael, I remember that we used to go through so much hell. And then you'd go to Radio Shack and see what the latest new antenna was for on top of the TV. And none of them worked any better than the shit you had before. And then, like I said, we put an antenna out on the roof. And that's a story I could tell all in itself. When we were putting the antenna out on the roof, my grandfather, my father's friends came to help. And my father wasn't a drinker, but they were all drunk. And oh, what a day that was putting the antenna up. Michael says, hey, Curtis, I'm 152 videos into your Naruto reactions. Yes, and 37 are missing, unfortunately. I've uploaded everywhere, lost to eternity. Thanks for your content. Well, thanks, Michael. There are... When we got towards the end of Shippuden is when the whole shitstorm started with anime reactions on YouTube. So I think the last 10 to 12 of Shippuden are at the Patreon, at the Goosh. And unfortunately, all the missing ones before that are lost for time. Because they got waxed and I didn't have backups on YouTube videos. Bo Burnham, I like Bo Burnham. Yeah, I like Bo Burnham Spaz Dev. Now, for me, this is, and again, don't let that dissuade you at all from watching more of them because comedy is purely subjective. Bo Burnham is hit and miss with me, though. I've seen some of his stuff and laughed a lot, and others I was like, okay. I really enjoy, I think most everybody likes Dave Chappelle. I like Dave Chappelle. I like Joe Coy. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with Joe Coy. He's funny as hell. I've always loved Joe Coy. My sex life is like Russia, drunk and wearing a lot of Adidas. Chrome says, the oldest TV I had was a big gray vacuum tube TV, if I remember right. I've seen dozens of them in a waste center last year. I barely used my current TV. Yeah, now like Brax, he hardly ever uses the TV in his room because everybody does even me, I have to admit, I grew up on TV, so I typically have it on. But even when I have it on, if I'm down in the living room doing whatever, whatever I'm doing, if I have it on, I'm still on my phone, though. And watching more on my phone than the TV. The only time I pay solid attention to the TV usually is during Notre Dame football. Yeah, like I say, Bo Burnham, I don't mean, again, I'm not disparaging him because I've seen some of the stuff I really liked, but I've also seen some that just, I was like kind of meh about. Spaz says, I'm watching this on an old black and white TV. Oh, I'd love to visit Japan, Nathan. I don't know if it's in the works or not, if it's in my future or not, but I would love to. Oh, no, thank you, Michael. No, I wish I had them for you. Again, those last few I posted at the Goosh because by the end of Shippuden, it was just impossible. I'd put them up and they'd immediately strike them, and then I'd have to go through the whole process of battling the strike to try and get them back. And then they learned about blocking, and blocking, that's what YouTube allowed the Japanese companies to do. Blocking, they don't even allow you your fair use defense. They just say, nah, they said it's their material and they don't want it up, and that's why I lost them. So cable just for Adult Swim. Not cable. We had satellite until last year, and I got pissed off with DirecTV, and so now I have YouTube TV. And, pretty much anything you want to watch is either on YouTube TV, Netflix, HBO Max, one of those. So, yeah, that's what I mean, Spaz Dev. I've never been bored by Bo Burnham. I just, again, some of it really hit with me and others didn't. If it's done well, Ashy, any type of humor is fine with me. Dry humor, doesn't matter. I like any type of humor if it's done well. I would love to go to Japan. Yeah, Mo, definitely would. Hey, Jake says Michigan winters are like Michigan men. Women here are used to settling for less than 5 inches. Let's see. The Dark Souls streams, I think those were excuse me. Dark Souls was a sponsored series that was sponsored at our Patreon, and the sponsor just moved on to something else. That's sad but true, Licks. There's also like 1,000 streaming services all overpriced and all only have like 1 or 2 good shows on them. Yeah, I see a lot of that myself. Philip says, my sex life is like an abstinent Catholic schoolgirl. I keep getting fucked, but somehow I'm still a virgin. Oh, Pokemon Go down there, Kyle? Yeah. At Disney World, when we're down on the last trip we took the family, my grandson is way into Pokemon Go. I keep playing to that camera, sorry guys. Into Pokemon Go. And yeah, it's amazing. I took out my Pokemon Go and was playing it down there because they're just loaded down there. Oh, thanks, Irene. I'll tell you that Naruto and Shippuden era is some of my fondest memories of YouTube as well. We had so much fun, all of us together. Austin Power movies. I think I only saw the first one, Ashy, if I remember right. Yeah, I think I just saw the first one. You like that one too, Mr. Shank? I probably will then. The toaster joke, because Philip was saying the same thing. Cool, and that'll lead in well to the stuff I'm still writing about the TV and having my little sister have to hold the antenna. So yeah, I'll definitely keep that if you guys like that one. Excuse me. Jake says, I alternate between streaming channels, binge Netflix for a few months and canceling Disney Plus for a few. That's understandable, yeah. Yeah, because that's the thing. A lot of them, as Lix was alluding to, you watch what you want to see and you're done. Excuse me. Is Black Clover coming to the Goose Garmin races? Right now, at that we have 3 different levels we do at the Goose with 3 different series every day but Sundays. We're doing Soul Eater, then it's Black Lagoon, Boondocks, and Black Clover. Yep. Just had to get out my notebook to make sure I had the order right. Yeah, I watch less and less on Netflix too now, Spaz Dev. Unfortunately, yeah. You think it's funnier, Frasier or Niles? Oh, Kyle, I don't think you can. It's like impossible to say. It depends on who had the better lines written for them. They were both great actors, excellent comedic actors, both of them. Clayton Bigsby, the black-white supremacist, that was so funny, Nicholas. Dave Chappelle is just a funny fucking guy. He really is. Jesus. Yeah, Clayton Bigsby was hysterical. Chrome says Disney's raising their prices. Huh. There's a phrase that's appropriate, seems like every day. I had Disney Plus for 1 month for Christmas, wanted some Christmas films. Wasn't really any, so I saw The Muppets and Home Alone and left. Yeah, I don't blame you, Chrome. Don't blame you. Exactly, Licks. Yep. Yep, remember when Netflix used to have everything, then all the individual companies, started taking their stuff back to have their own streaming services. Yep. Doug Stanhope he's absolutely brutal. Doug Stanhope's been around for a long time now. Yes, he, back in the early days of the internet even, I used to belong to, because I was doing stand-up comedy at the time, and I used to belong to some online comedy message boards, and Stanhope was actually in there with us. I never met him, just online, but he was in one of our groups. Yes, he is brutal. Amazon probably is the best, but they trapped you charging for additional channels. Yeah, I know. It's just like Lick says, because now everybody's going to take their own titles back and make you pay for them through them. Nicholas says, hey Curtis, if Stanley Kubrick was still alive today, do you think his movies would be shown in theaters? Hard to say, Nicholas. A great deal of the time, no, but that's true with you go back even to into the 70s for sure, and in the 80s, a big hunk of that stuff they would never make today. Lick says, I'm quite lucky in that I have one cousin who has all the streaming services because he's a big TV head and the entire family shares his account. Nice. Nice. Crow says we could all be like, I like Ricky Berwick. Ricky Berwick and watch the Ukraine crisis and Putin speech on an old box Shrek TV. What would you guys think? Totally off topic here. What would you guys think if I started doing some, because I was thinking about possibly doing this, doing some interviews on the channel. You know what got me thinking of it is oh geez, why is the name going out of my head? I'm on the service and I can't remember the name of it. The service where you can have people make videos for you, celebrities make videos for you and stuff. The name's gone right out of my head. Oh, of course, Rodney Dangerfield, Ashy. Sure, he's a legend. Jerky Boys were funny back in their day, Willie. Yeah, I like them. Cameo, thank you, Lex. Cameo, Lude. Yes. I've been thinking with all the people on Cameo, there's a lot of people on there I think we would all enjoy. I've been thinking of trying to contact some of the people that are on there, and I figure if they're doing videos on there, they might be willing to do a half-hour interview segment. And I just thought it might be some fun content for the channel. There's a lot of anime voice actors on there. There's a lot of more old school entertainers on there. A lot of YouTubers. Ricky Berwick is on there. I thought that might be something kind of fun. You know, and Ricky Berwick is one of the ones I thought of approaching for it. Oh, I'd love to interview Brandon Rogers. I've had interactions with him on our channel when he's commenting on videos and stuff, and he's just such a good guy. Really good guy. Yeah, I might look into that, guys. Yeah, it would be pricey. I you know, if it stays within the budget, I would do it. But I think there's a lot of people on there that for a couple $100, I think they would do an interview. And at first, of course, it'll just be a loss for me. If I get fortunate and the videos take off and enough people watch them, then it's no big deal. Then you don't mind paying it. I just saw Gilbert on there, Lex. Gilbert, I think, would be pricey. Well, I don't know. Gilbert will do anything for $1, even by his own admission. So maybe it wouldn't be that pricey. Oh yeah, I've interviewed people before. Not cool. Even back when I had a local cable show. Yeah. When Peter breaks his own neck. Oh, Peter's the best, Kyle. Yeah, Spaz says Chevy Chase would be good since he would just start yelling at Curtis about how he isn't funny. You know who else is on there? I might be able to get is you guys that are wrestling fans will know Meng, the most notorious real life badass in the history of wrestling. I'd love to have Meng for an interview. Chrome says Gilbert did a video with the AVGN. He'll do anything for fun. Yeah, that's Spazdev saying the same thing. Yeah, it would be fun. I would enjoy that. I mean, that's something you got to put some time and effort into. I want to make sure we write good questions and have a good, lively interview. I know, 500. And I can see some people charging $500 for 15-second vid packs, but not some of the people that want to charge $500. I mean, if you're The Rock, I don't think he's on there, but I'm saying if you're The Rock, sure, I get that price point. But some of the people that want to charge big money. Yeah. Meng or Haku, his name was, Chrome. He was, by all accounts in the business, the most badass in real life wrestler ever. Andre the Giant was scared of him. Ricky Gervais, I don't think I could get him Art Droid. I don't think I could afford that. Now, the whole thing there is, if we do that, and it were to get traction, then you can get more people to do it. Because if the videos do well and these entertainers have something they want to plug or promote, then you can get them easily. Oh, really? Rigid said Gilbert Gottfried was also Nux Taku's video where he paid some people on Cameo to say stuff. Well, that I know I could get. But what I want to see, Rigid, is if I could get him to actually just do a remote interview with me. The Shockmaster was a real thing. Yeah, Chrome. Tori Wilson's $87, is she? Well, that's not what I would pay because I'd be asking them for an interview. So you know it's going to be substantially more than them just to make a quick video. Interview the voice actor for Shao Tucker and ask him for his favorite dog breed. You know, Lude. You know if I was going to interview him, that is exactly what I would ask. And does he have any children? Oh, that Golden Globe speech was hilarious, Mo. Who would yeah, that'd be cool. Who would I wonder if the voice actor for Shao Tucker is on there. If he was, I would put him right at the top of my list. Who is that voice actor? We got to look that up, you guys. That would be funny. Just for, like, as I said, just for those questions. Do you have any pets? How about kids? As long as he's got a good sense of humor, it'd be a blast. I think it'd be funny too if you could get the voice actors, if I could talk to them, you know, in setting up the interview, if I tell them, you know, this is for laughs, feel free to come at me, that I can't separate you from your character. I think that would make it for funny interviews. Yes and no, because Pax, I don't think a lot of people would go as high as they do on the business ones, because believe it or not, a half-hour interview is easier to do than one of the corporate or business ones, because the corporate or business ones are going to want to have a specific set of guidelines, and you're probably going to have to do multiple takes for it and everything to get exactly what they want. Whereas the interview is easier because all the onus is on the interviewer to keep it interesting. All you have to do is answer questions. So I don't think they would go as high for that. Some would, but I wouldn't pay that for it. It's not worth that. Ask him if he wants to advertise his dog and babysitting services. I don't know who voiced him, Philip. That would be funny to see if he was on there. That would be a blast. The voice actor, Takahata, 101. Yeah, he does seem pretty chill. I see him online every so often. Vic Mignogna has a cameo. Vic's done a lot of voices, hasn't he, Lex? If I'm not mistaken. Get a Japanese translator and interview for hour long. They're making a real Gunji board set from Hunter x Hunter. It'll be a real game. They made rules. Get out. Really, Chrome? That's cool. I wouldn't even bother to learn the rules, but I'd buy the game board. I'd have to have that. That's cool. Oh, did they? I didn't look at that draft, Indo, yet. The USFL draft. I haven't looked at that. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I thought so. I thought Vic had a lot of Chrome. I thought he had a lot of voice and credits. To the third anniversary of my death. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Loki. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, if we helped in any way, we are proud to have done so. And old, yeah. And old is important, Cool Whip. Ed, Obito, and Broly. He also sung a bunch of dub anime intros. Oh, I didn't know that, Lex. Yeah? I didn't know he voiced Broly either. I may have, but I've forgotten. Oh, okay. All right, Jake's got details. Chuck Huber does the voice of Tucker. He's also Pilaf. Oh, really? And Android 17? Really? Kagi Films? We might be able to get Kagi Films for an interview, yeah. We definitely might be able to get Kagi Films. And it would be fun to do other YouTubers, because, again, what I'd like to do is interview the voice actors as if I'm interviewing the character, and have the voice actor, the person I'm interviewing, become frustrated with the fact that I won't recognize that they're a separate individual. Yeah, the Ghost Stories dub. Yeah. Hold on. Let me just check Cameo real quick. I'll do a search for Chuck Huber. Let's just see if we can get lucky and he's on there. All right. Cameo. Just put in Huber. Chuck Huber. I'll be goddamn. He's here, guys. Oh, wow. He's good. He's not taking cameos right now. Notify me when available. Damn it. Oh, it'd be great if we could have gotten him for an interview. Damn, that's too bad. Chrome says there's a regular set with just the board and pieces for about $41, and a high end set with piece holders and cases for $418. Yikes! Pre-orders till May. Wow, that's pretty fucking cool right there. God damn. Goku's VA can be a real dick to his fans. See, that would be. I wouldn't be. I would want to do these interviews and make them fun and funny for everybody. But you guys know me. If I'm hooked up with somebody who's going to be a dick, I can't resist. I'm going to be a dick back. And they better be good at it because I am. It's one of the things I can tell you in life. I know what I'm strong at. I know what I'm weak at. If you want to have a verbal jousting match and want to be dicks, I'm really good at it. Yeah, that would have been a great. Oh, Spazdev, that would have been awesome. It's too bad he's not taking any requests right now. That would have been fantastic. You should have Duke Nukem do a cameo. See, I could just have people do cameos, and that'd be cool and fun and everything. But I'd love to be able to interview some of the people. Hey, good to see you, Bob. I'm doing good. It's available from the Universal Music Store website in Japan, of all places. That kind of odd. Yeah, really. Indo's into that New Orleans sports. Hey, Curtis, can I hear you say, "Go Breakers"? Excuse me. Mo says, yeah, there's a whole story with Chris Sabat and Sean pushing out Broly's voice actor, so I don't know about Goku's VA. I actually have everything set up, James, for a podcast. As far as if I do a podcast, it would be on YouTube and then sent out to the podcasting agencies, and I have everything all in place for that. For putting the podcast out to all the podcast spots. The only reason I haven't started with it yet is I want to make sure exactly what type of content I want to put on it. I don't know if I wanted to go with more humorous stuff or more topical stuff. Oh, excuse me. Art Droid says you should get different anime VAs to say the line from your intro. Imagine EA just saying you're just going to die in the end. Yeah, that's true. But that would, yeah, it would be fun if we could get some of them for interviews. I guess I could get some of them to ask them to read off some lines and then splice myself in as if I'm interviewing them. That'd be funny too. Wouldn't be a genuine interview. It would be a bit, but we could do that as well. I think a lot of them would do that. If I'm up front with them and just say, listen, I'm going to put together these bits that are faux interviews, and the idea is that the interviewee always turns on me, and as long as they know what they're getting themselves into, if I just gave them some lines to ask them to read, I think most of them would do that. Yeah, I see that a lot of wrestlers on their packs, yeah. F off train tattoo, yeah. Oh, there's lots of YouTubers on Cameo, Spazdev. If you go on Cameo site and just put in YouTuber in the search, you'll see tons of them. Vic is Ed in FMA. Tamaki and Uran Host Club. Maka's dad and Soul Eater. Oh, really? Broly, Nagato and Naruto. Ikaku and Bleach. Mao and Disgaea. Wow. Holy shit, I guess. Wow. Let's see. Leslie says, "Are you going to react to All of Us Are Dead after before Squid Game 2 if that happens, or did you already see it? No, I haven't seen it yet. I don't know yet. I don't know what I'll be doing with it for sure, Leslie." JP says, "My grief counselor just died. He was so good, I don't even care." That's terrible. Oh, yeah. Stone Cold. You know who else does it? If you're into sports at all, Kevin Hart's Cold as Balls interviews are excellent too. I love those interviews with Bam Bam and what's the other dude's name he has with him all the time? Daryl. Bam Bam and Daryl. No. Phil says, "How about we get the voice actor for Violet Evergarden saying you're just going to die in the end?" Violet Evergarden is one of my all-time favorite characters. I love that show so much. Curtis does an interview with a YouTuber or celebrity and he just dies in the middle of it. Yeah, that's entirely possible. Should make for an interesting biography. Well done, Art Droid. Oh yeah, the one with Floyd. I just watched that the other day, Mo. The one with Floyd was really funny. He did at the beginning. I don't think Floyd was acting. It's fighter nature. When Kevin was joking with him, and he like chested out towards him a little bit, Floyd was like, "What the fuck was that?" I was like, "Oh shit!" You guys are right on top of things. PAX, I haven't. I gotta see that. I was just telling my wife I gotta watch that. Brock Lesnar's interview on the Pat McAfee show. Everybody's talking about it and how much he opened up and everything. Yeah, I really want to see that. You already figured out a name, an interview gone wrong. Well, I don't know. Is that? I gotta go here, guys. But let me ask you this: is that a funny concept? If I sent a script to people on Cameo that I'm going to splice back and forth as if we're having an interview, would those be funny, do you think? Oh yeah, and you nailed it, Philip. I love her. Oh my God, I love that show so much. And that would be the worst, her saying you gotta die in the end. You like that idea, Chrome? Yeah? That I could think of. See, now that would work. Whereas getting them to do an interview might be difficult, but if I do it for laughs, they'd be short, they'd be short interviews. And I would even contact people and say, "Listen, if it's a little longer, I'll double your price, whatever, or give me a price for it." Vix, I was just going to say, she says it's a funny concept, sounds a wee bit cringe. Before I read the rest, I was going to say it's supposed to be. That's the idea, but like the good kind. That would be funny. The original voice actor, Goose Goose. Oh, Lude, we'd have to send him a crown or something, wouldn't we? He's a legend. Brandon Rogers. I can try and get a hold of Brandon. I think is Brandon on Cameo? Because again, I've had limited interactions with Brandon already, and he's a phenomenal guy, great guy. All right, well, let me go down through the Cameo list. Why don't you guys do this too? If you think of it, if you have time, go over to Cameo. You guys know the concept. I would write a script. It would be a faux interview. Find people on Cameo you think you'd like to see in something like that, and just put the names on. I will remember to check the comments on this video when it gets posted to YouTube. Put them right in there. That'd be the best place for it. So if you see somebody on Cameo that you think would be, this would be an amazing person to do that bit with, just put the name in there for me. Oh, the Goosh. If I could find the Goosh guy, we would definitely do him. I want to party with the Goosh guy. Rob Paulson. I know that name, Wix. Oh, voices literally every cartoon character in the 90s. I must have seen him in credits and stuff then. I was going to say, because that name sounded familiar. Coco Hekmatiar saying, well, with Coco, yeah, Philip, it would be apropos. Coco will tell you you're just going to die in the end, and she'd bring your end around for you. Oh, Violet, though. That Violet Evergarden. Oof. That is elite level anime for me. I love that show. Episode 7 and episode 10, I remember them both distinctly. Most everybody really gets, and I did too, gets hit hard by episode 10, with the 50 letters she writes for the woman who's dying. But 7 gets me. For some reason, when she tries to make that jump across the pond for that writer, that gets to me. Oh, Bebop? Bebop's voice actor, Spike's voice actor in Bebop? Will it? Yeah, that'd be a good one too. Good question, Lud. I don't know. Tokyo Tribe 2, if it even has a dub, I don't know. That's right, I don't know. Ooh, if we could just get the guy to make those sounds again. Now, Mr. Pope was saying you're just going to die in the end would be perfect. Yeah, so do that for me, guys. If you have time, go over to Cameo, take a look at the rosters. You can search by any search terms you want. Sports, athletes, YouTubers. If you think of people that you think, first of all, if you think they'd be game for it, and I would send them details explaining exactly what's going to go on, because I don't want to blindside anybody. I would do that. That would be cool. Oh hell, I've had a lot of wrestlers actually beat the shit out of me, Lick. So that would work. Oh yeah, Mr. Pope was saying you're just gonna die in the end. Yes. But yeah, let me know, guys. Guys, thank you so much for the stream. It lasted 45 minutes longer than I planned on because I had some stuff to do before bed tonight. I don't even care. We had a really good time. I had a lot of fun with this. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and help me with the writing. You actually helped me a lot with the writing on this as well. And we've come up with an idea that I think will be really fun for content on the channel. So I'm going to see what I can do about setting that up. Thank you guys. And we should be streaming tomorrow, so I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.